Senator Rubio.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Gottlieb, for being here. As you know, and we've discussed before your confirmation, there are a number of small businesses in Florida that have been making premium hand-rolled cigars for generations. The industry is at stake because last year, under the previous administration, they finalized a rule that would require premium cigars, not the stuff you get from behind the counter, but the premium ones, to regulate the manufacture, import, packaging, labeling, advertising, promotion, sale, and distribution at the premium cigar level. So it's already illegal to sell tobacco products to anyone under the age of 18, which I think addresses the underage smoking issue. Plus, the premium cigar market really is not marketed towards that. It's a different market altogether. Are there any plans to reevaluate the inclusion of premium hand-rolled cigars from this rules as was proposed under the preliminary rule?
Thanks for the question. We're currently looking at aspects of the rule. As you know, there was a 3-month delay in implementation of certain compliance dates announced before I arrived at FDA, and we're coming up on the end of that that delay. Whatever we do in this regard is going to need to be science-based, of course, but we're cognizant of the challenges faced by small businesses. I also understand that there are a number of legislative measures to exempt premium cigars. If Congress were to act, we'd be happy to work with legislators to mitigate any unintended consequences of these measures. I don't want to comment too specifically, given that there's pending litigation right now around this issue, other than to say that I understand the concerns. You and I have had the opportunity to talk about them on a few occasions now, and I do understand the concerns of the small businesses that make premium cigars, Senator.
Yes, and just for those who might be watching, we're talking about the premium cigars, or what the name implies, a premium cigar.
That's right.
I mean, it's a expensive product marketed towards a very specific audience, and if it's science-based, I think it will show, as we've seen repeatedly, that's really not a product that is marketed at people underage or the like. Real quick, I really appreciate the assistance the FDA has provided to me and to Senator Bennett on our legislation, Race for Children, to close the gap on cancer treatments that exist between adults and children. And I was just wondering if you could provide some background as to why the FDA initially requested legislation to close this loophole after years of trying to encourage development of pediatric cancer treatments only through the Best Pharmaceutical Practices for Children's Act.
Well, I know the legislation, Senator, and I assure you we want to do everything we can to try to make products available to pediatric patients, particularly pediatric patients who have rare diseases where current available therapy might not fully address their clinical needs. I know that we've provided technical assistance with respect to this legislation and have worked with your office, and we'll continue to do that.
And just again, as an aside, what Senator Bennett and I are aiming at is, right now it's basically on an incentive system where we're trying to incentivize companies to, in every one of their trials, have a pediatric component. Unfortunately, it's not working. They're not doing that enough because the audience, sometimes the target audience is not big enough for them, or the target potential patient mix is not large enough for them to be encouraged to do that. And so our hope is to be able to drive more of that.
Right.
You know, I think everyone's been impacted in their own families by pediatric cancer, and it's critically important that we develop new treatment options at that level because when it strikes a family, it's devastating. So again, we thank you for your cooperation on that, and we look forward to continuing to interact with you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.